Hello again. I've been doing lots of bits and pieces, rally, bikes, just getting things sorted out. Now the rally's over, I can get stuck into other things. So I'm back on the 323. So I've dropped it on the floor and it's got one of them roller things under the front and a gearbox jack on wheels under the back, so I can actually slide it away from the wall if I need to get access to anywhere. I've got the door off, all the engines out. I put the engine in the corner, the other engine's in that corner. So what I'm working on now is, these were just a couple of tiny spots of rust, and I didn't think it would be anything serious, but when I took the lining off inside, it was rotten. The whole cassette for the sunroof was absolutely gone. So what I'm doing is cutting out the perforated bit. I'm going up to where are we? Yeah, where that bracket is. I'm cutting out to there, and I'm doing it at an angle across here. So that is just surface rust on the roof. That will come off. I've got a sunroof panel to go in there to weld in, but I'm not putting that in yet because it's a lot easier without that in there. I've got light coming in, and I'll do when I'm doing the roll cage. So this is a bit I've just made. I've just put it over a bit of wood, bent it. It's a bit thicker than the original, so I've just marked it on, cut it out with the offcut because that's nice and sharp. So I'm about to cut the roof out so I can put this in position and then very carefully weld it, because it's very easy to distort the roof. But it won't be so easy to distort it once that's welded in. So just keeping it cool. I've just got to make sure I keep it really cool. Just do a little weld and then let it cool down, and then do another little weld. And then, yeah, I've got a couple of little bends in the roof I've just got to straighten out. But that'll be the roof done then. So I'll get on with that. I'll just place this, put this in roughly where it's going to go. So I'll have to take a little bit more off this edge just to move that over. It does seem to have a curve on the roof that way. So yeah, if I start a few tacks on this end and then sort of bend it as I'm welding through, yeah, it'd be interesting to see how it works out. This corner is not quite as sharp as this corner, but it's going to have a sunroof panel in there, which is going to be welded shut. You're not going to notice, and I'll have sealant all the way around it as well, stopping any water getting in. So you're not going to notice anything like that. Right, and now I've got to set the welder up, so I've got a new head for it, so I've got to change that over and tube. I gave that a grind down with the wire wheel attachment on a drill, and then treated it for, there was bits and pieces of surface rust in there. I mean, it's not completely cured yet, so I will put some primer on that before I fix the next plate to it. There's lots of places where, in between that joint there could be rust lurking. It could be anywhere, you just don't know. Unless you pull it all apart, you might as well start from scratch. I've got to sort this bit out. I've been going down the gutter, just cleaned it up. It was only a bit of surface rust, and I've put the rust cure, is it? Crust. Seems to be quite good, this. On that. So the next job, I think I'm going to clean this up, get the paint off it, make this fit a bit better, and then do a couple of welds just to hold it in place. I want to weld along a couple of welds in this edge first, because it's got a slight curve to it, and then I want to sort of bend it as I'm welding it. Hopefully it is quite solid, but I know if I try bending that, I haven't got anything to bend it with, so I think this might be the best way. I'll give that a go. Right, I've just trimmed it up a bit with the sanding pad on the grinder. So it's about ready to go. I've got access underneath where I can poke things through, and just to get it flat. I'm saying that like I know what I'm doing. I've never done a bit like this before, but you know, I've got lots of filler. Yeah, I'm gonna get the welder sorted out and then give that a go at welding it up. Well, I'm taking my time with this. I'm sort of doing a spot. Well, I started on this end and I did one every like 100 mil or so. I did end up with a bit of a gap here, but I can fill that. That's not a problem. But it'll take a while because you know I'm just trying to let the heat out of it. So then I leave it. By the time I get round here, I do a bit further up. Then I keep going back in between the ones I've done. So I've got to be careful as well because you can get more heat grinding than you can welding sometimes. Well, not more than welding, but you can build up a lot of heat grinding, and yeah, that can warp it as well. So yeah, I'm pretty chuffed with how that looks so far. And if it is all ripply and horrible, I can always get big stickers to go over there. It is going to be a rally car, but I'd like it to look half decent. All right. Let's carry on because it's cooled down enough now. I can put a few more spots on it. Right, you can see where I've got to go over it a bit more with the flat wheel. What I do is I start with the grinding disc, not the cutting disc, the grinding disc. So you don't build up too much heat in the area. So I don't know, all these little holes, it's just bits where it hasn't been welded. So I don't know whether to go through. I might pop some weld in all those. And then I've still got a bit more to flat wheel around here. It's just the batteries keep running out. But yeah, at the moment, I'm quite happy with that. Not that I know what I'm doing. Yeah, sounds like one battery's charged. There's 3 I've gone through just doing this bit.